So how do we assess if a baby's head is engaged and in pregnancy, and what does that all mean? And what is lightening? When somebody say, oh, has the lightening occurred? All right. Hi, I'm Kathy Fray, and I'm a semi-retired senior midwife and best-selling maternity author, and welcome along. So I've got a little article that I wrote a while ago that I'm going to refer to as well, because why reinvent the wheel? So I'll explain to you all about descent, engagement, lightning, and fifths, and ischial spines and stations. All right, but to cover off. Okay, so for most first-time mums at around about 36 to 38 weeks, their baby's head naturally lowers into the brim of the pelvic cavity, of their pelvis cavity, and we call that the baby's head engaging. So then what happens is the top of the womb, or the fundus, the top of the uterus, drops down from your sternum, from your xiphoid process, and this is nicknamed the lightening. And for second and subsequent babies, that lightening or head engagement may not occur to the woman's actually in labour, but with first time pregnancies, we really do like to know that the head is engaging. It's a normal positive sign, and it's unusual to not have a head engaging for the first time pregnancy. It's nice to have them starting to be head down by the 35th week, and then, as I say, hopefully engaging by the 36, 37, 38 weeks. Yeah. All right. So how do we measure it? Because that's confusing too. There's basically two different systems used around the world by midwives and obstetricians to measure the level of engagement from the outside. So, from doing what we call abdominal palpation. And then there's one universal system that we use around the world for measuring internally the descent of that baby. So from the outside, or abdominal palpations, as we call them, there's the descent system and the station system. So they measure the same thing, but they just have two different things that we call it. So descents, and there's five levels of that descent. So we use D0, D1, D2, D3, D4. D0 means all of the baby's head is above the brim of the pelvis, or D4 means none of that baby's head can be felt above the brim, so that's a very deeply engaged baby. And then the other way, as I say, is that it's measured in fifths. So 5 fifths, 4 fifths, 3 fifths, 2 fifths, 1 fifth. So that is 5 fifths means all of that baby's head can be felt through the abdominal examination, or 1 fifth, where only 1 fifth of the baby's head can be felt, which basically is its neck and a little bit of the real bottom of its head. So again, very deeply engaged. So 1 fifth equals D4, 5 fifths equals D0. Yeah. Anyway, so then with internal exams, which is a really important part, critical part of measuring the progress of labour, is to not just know how dilated and effaced a cervix is, as in how shortened and opened it is, but also really important is to know the position. Really important is to know the position of that baby, and we work out its lie by its fontanelles. So we know, we have a good, strong suspicion with a really decent abdominal examination to know where the back of that baby is, and then we do an internal examination to confirm that, and also to know the flexion of the baby's head. So is it like this? Is it like this? Is it well flexed? Or is it asynclitic and on an angle? And we obviously, that's also going to tell us the descent of the baby. So inside your pelvis, there are some protuberances called the ischial spines, and we measure a baby's descent internally as to where the baby's head is in relation to your ischial spines. So if the top of the baby's head is at the ischial spines, then that's a station 0. If it's above the spines, so it's still a little bit further up your pelvis, then that would be a +1 or +2. So that basically means 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres above your ischial spines. And then if it's, that's a -1, -2, sorry, so +1, +2. God, it's a -1, -2. And then once you get ischial spines, it becomes pluses. So +1 is a centimetre below the ischial spine, so that's great. We would usually have at that point what we call vertex peeps. So that means that when you have a contraction and you're pushing, because at this point you're fully dilated for the baby's head to be that low, so you're starting to push, and you would have irresistible urge to push unless you got an epidural on board. And so when you push and your vagina's open slightly, and we get these little peeps of the baby's head, and then in between contractions it closes again. So that's +1, and then once you get to +2, you're 2 centimetres, but the head's 2 centimetres below the ischial spines, and when you push, we will have vertex on show. Vertex is this part of the baby's head, and that's the part we want to see, because it means the baby's head's really well flexed. So then +2, we will have vertex on show, which means when you're pushing, even when you're not, so when you're pushing this, you're starting to get lots of good views of the baby's head, and then in between pushes we can still see the baby's head, and then you push and then we can still see it, and that's vertex on show. And once we get to +2 and it's vertex on show, honestly, your baby is about to be born anywhere from the next minute to the next probably 5 minutes. That's it. So it's very exciting. Okay, now obviously this engagement, we call it, is slightly different from the last time you might have been engaged, and it can quickly relieve any previous shortness of breath that you've had, because there's less pressure on your lungs with that baby's head dropping, and for shorties like me, it can dramatically improve awful heartburn, indigestion that you may have been tolerating for previous weeks or months, because your stomach's got a bit more room. But of course, there's always a but. The price is being paid, the price of the upper comfort is the worsening lower discomfort. So there's going to be way more pressure on your bladder and your groin. In fact, that head resting right near your bladder can make you feel like you want to pee all the time, because the head is pushing on the pressure receptors on the wall of your bladder. So even though your bladder's not full, your brain is getting messages telling you need to wee. And you can have increased vaginal discharge. You can have increased pressure on your rectum. You can have these unpredictable, almost like electric shocks, or sharp stabby pains that are completely unpredictable, and you're walking along and you just get this like shooting pain down there, and that's sort of these jolts of like your baby unpredictably bouncing on your pelvic floor. Oh, so good. And then you also can get this completely imaginary, but it doesn't feel imaginary, sensation of a bowling ball between your legs, which is your baby's head, feeling like it's about to fall out. It's not. Your baby's head is not about to fall out. But it kind of feels like that. And then you also, and that all translates into a new gait, G-A-I-T, that you get this very uncomfortable, heavily pregnant waddle of a walk. And yeah, so because you've got this sort of watermelon sitting right in your pelvis. So it's a great sign for pending labour that baby's head is sitting really low. But yeah, you certainly wouldn't want to do a cat walk at that stage in pregnancy. Looking rather awkward and uncomfortable. Anyway, so that's all the information for today. I want to wish you a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. Bye everybody.